We perceive a world of solid forms, enduring structures, and compelling attractions. This perception feels undeniably real, a tapestry woven from tangible experiences. Yet this very solidity, this allure, is often a profound illusion. Our sense organs, remarkable as they are inherently limited in their scope. They capture only a narrow band of reality, translating complex energies into simplified sensations. The mind then takes these raw impressions and overlays them with meaning, memory, and desire. It is this mental processing that gives rise to the convincing belief that things are truly real, mine, or worth pursuing. We project our hopes and fears onto the world, creating a narrative of permanence and possession. This narrative, though comforting, obscures a deeper truth. As ancient wisdom proclaims, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This profound insight suggests that what appears solid is, at its core, fluid and transient. Modern physics echoes this, revealing that at the subatomic level, everything is a dance of energy fluctuations, not fixed particles. There is no inherent solidity, no fixed identity in the ceaseless flow of existence. What we grasp as real is merely a momentary configuration, a fleeting pattern in the vast ocean of being. Understanding this is the first step towards liberation. The cycle of perceiving, desiring, and suffering is not a random occurrence or a cosmic punishment. It arises from a fundamental mechanism of consciousness, often described as dependent origination. This intricate chain of causes and effects explains our entanglement. We are born into this world equipped with sense faculties: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These faculties naturally engage with the world, making contact with objects and experiences. From this contact, feelings of pleasure, pain, or neutrality arise. Our inherent tendency is to react to these feelings with either craving or aversion. We grasp at what is pleasant and recoil from what is unpleasant. This reaction, repeated over countless moments, builds habits and patterns within our consciousness. These habits, often referred to as karma, perpetuate the cycle. They lead to further clinging, further becoming, and thus further birth into conditions that inevitably bring aging, sickness, and death. It is a self-sustaining loop, driven by our own reactions. This trap is simply the mechanics of consciousness operating without the clarity of wisdom. It is not a judgment, but a description of how our unexamined engagement with the world perpetuates our experience of limitation and suffering. The core of our misery lies precisely in this cycle of liking and disliking. When we develop a strong liking for something, we inevitably want to grasp it, to hold on to it, to make it permanent. This desire for permanence, however, clashes with the fundamental nature of reality. Everything in the phenomenal world is impermanent. It is subject to change, decay, and eventual dissolution. Loss is not a possibility, but an inevitability. The cherished object, the pleasant experience, the beloved person, all will eventually pass. The gap between our desire for things to remain and the reality of their impermanence is the source of suffering, or dukkha. This suffering is not merely pain, but a pervasive sense of unsatisfactoriness, a subtle unease that underlies even moments of joy. Even what we label as happiness is often fragile and dependent on external conditions. The very act of chasing it carries an underlying anxiety, a fear of its eventual loss. This pursuit of fleeting pleasure can become a source of constant agitation. Our misery, then, is not inflicted upon us by external forces. It arises from our own attachment to what is transient and our aversion to what is unavoidable. It is a consequence of mistaking the wave for the ocean, the fleeting for the eternal. The existence of this trap, this cycle of suffering, has been contemplated by wisdom traditions for millennia, each offering a unique lens. From a Buddhist perspective, the trap exists not due to a divine decree, but fundamentally because of ignorance. This ignorance is not a lack of knowledge, but but a fundamental misunderstanding of reality itself. It is the failure to see things as they truly are, impermanent, unsatisfactory, and devoid of a fixed, separate self. Awakening, or bodhi, is the path out of this ignorance. From a Vedantic viewpoint, this trap is understood as Maya, a divine illusion. The one, the ultimate reality, appears as the many, creating the diverse universe for the cosmic play, or Leela. The soul, in this play, temporarily forgets its infinite nature, only to rediscover it through the mirror of the world. It is a grand cosmic drama where the individual consciousness embarks on a journey of self-discovery. The world, with all its allure and challenges, becomes the very stage for this profound realization. The trap is part of the divine unfolding. From a psychological perspective, our nervous system evolved to seek pleasure and avoid pain, a fundamental survival mechanism. The world we perceive is often a projection of our mind, filtered through these primal instincts. Suffering arises when these survival programs dominate our lives, rather than conscious awareness. Yes, there is a way out, and the world's great wisdom traditions consistently point towards it. The path is not one of escape from the world, but of transformation within our perception of it. It begins with cultivating mindfulness. Mindfulness allows us to observe sensations, thoughts, and emotions clearly, without immediately reacting with clinging or aversion. We learn to witness the arising and passing of all phenomena, recognizing their impermanent nature. This practice loosens the grip of attachment. Detachment, then, is not about withdrawing from life or becoming indifferent. It is about understanding the true nature of things, recognizing that they are not solid or permanent. It is a freedom from the compulsion to grasp or reject. Cultivating compassion transcends self-centered desire. When our focus shifts from personal gain to the well-being of all beings, the narrow confines of the ego begin to dissolve. This expansive awareness naturally diminishes the power of the trap. Ultimately, the way out lies in cultivating a deeper awareness, an awareness that observes all the wavelets of existence without getting caught in their ebb and flow. This awareness recognizes itself as the underlying ocean, calm, deep, and unmoved by the surface disturbances. The trap exists because we mistake the reflection for the real, the passing for the eternal. We chase after shadows, believing them to be substance, and then suffer when they inevitably dissipate. This fundamental misunderstanding perpetuates our entanglement. But the very recognition of this trap, the very questioning of its nature, is the beginning of liberation. To see the illusion is to begin to dissolve its power. This awareness is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding, a gentle turning towards the truth of our being. You are not merely the waves, tossed by the winds of circumstance. You are the ocean itself, vast, profound, and eternally at peace. The journey is to remember this truth and to live from that boundless space.